All right, all right. I think we live. We in business. Good morning, millionaires. We still in Facebook jail, so we doing it strictly from YouTube. You can also feel free to join us on Clubhouse. My name's Haziq Ali. This is Millionaire Minded, and I just want to say good morning, millionaire. We say we can grow any business you can think of with 7 categories. That's our play. We feel like we feel like any business out there, you can grow it with just 7 categories, and we're gonna prove it. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing started. It's time for me to call in on the live line, so let's go ahead and do just that. Hope everybody's feeling good. If you are checking out the replay, give me a replay, gang. Give me a replay, gang. Make sure you check in with where you tuning in from. Let's see. How was your week, man? Everybody have a good week? I hope you did.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you. Just hold on.
There are. Please have your. Thank you. Please announce yourself. All participants are muted. All participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves. Entry and exit tones are off.
Okay. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope everybody's feeling incredible this morning. My name is Haziq Ali. I'm a revenue acceleration coach and somebody who's dedicated to helping you go further, faster, with less effort. What an incredible week it has been. I hope you're excited about it as I am. I want to remind you that your business is more valuable than you think it is. But how was your week? You know, what kind of new things did you try this week? Quite a question, right? I just think that a lot of times we forget that all the growth is going to come from the new things that we try. Does that make sense? All the growth is going to come from the new things that we try. Does that make sense, Kermit? What did we do that was new this week? I want you to think about that, because Free Coaching Friday is about this idea that if we take 4 days, you know, and when you count what we do Monday through Thursday, where it's just pure training, and then you count what Amma the CPA does on Saturdays, and then what my sister, Dr. Kadira, does on Sundays, where it's like wellness is the new wealth. What you're getting is a whole lot of information to apply. And I get that it can feel kind of overwhelming sometimes, but I want to remind you that your business is more valuable than you think. All of this mindset stuff that we do is really based around the idea that you think about it first and then the possibilities start to, but man, I heard something really powerful. My business partner said something that was wild last night on his training. He was like, if you don't have belief, then your activity has no intention. Millionaires, the reason that we go over all of these techniques, the reason we go through all of these strategies, the reason that we're always covering all of these tactics is because the goal is to increase your belief system about what's possible. You literally want to go through life having the ability to learn. They call that growth mindset. Growth mindset is when, in a nutshell, because people will make it sound all complex, but all growth mindset is saying is that at the end of the day, I think I can learn my way through the losses. I think I can continue to learn from losses. Fixed mindset is like, this is how it is. It's messed up that it's this way and it's that way over there. Damn, I'm sure it's easier for them. Matter of fact, let me try that. When you have growth mindset, you're coming from this place where you love learning, and therefore you're not scared to take a risk because all you can do is either win or learn. Does that make sense to everybody out there? Your business is more valuable than you think. That's right. And so I sent out an incredible email yesterday. I could not believe how many responses that we got. I was really glad that I did that. We may turn that into something that we do more regularly, right? But it was amazing to hear from everybody. And I found that that made it a lot easier for everybody to kind of ask questions. You know, my brother gave me that idea. I'm so glad I listened to him because it turned out that he was absolutely right. Check it out. The revenue acceleration cycle is based around 7 different categories, okay? And if you look at these 7 different categories, I'm guaranteeing you can grow any business. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run through the 7 categories. If you have a question about it, you can throw it on the screen. If you're on Clubhouse, you can raise your hand, right? But I'm gonna run through the 7 different categories. I want you to think of each of these 7 in terms of your business model. And if you can't see how it applies to you, I want you to challenge me. Don't just sit back and just be like, oh, this don't make sense. Make me make it make sense to you. All right, here we go. The first one is leads. Do you have enough people to talk to about your business? If not, then boom, there's a question you may want to consider asking. The second one is meaningful conversation. Do they leave knowing you care, right? And then do you leave knowing what they care about? Is it a meaningful conversation? Because nobody cares how much you know till they know how much you care. Is that a fact? The third category is appointments. I just want you to ask yourself, have you made it so that they're excited about what they're going to hear or who they're going to meet when it's time for y'all to link up again? The art of setting an appointment. It has to do with how you're edifying. It has to do with how you're getting out of the way. It has to do with how you're setting up the next step, which is the presentation. The next step in the revenue acceleration cycle, right, is the presentation. I don't care what business you're in. You need to have a presentation. I'm asking you, how good are you at getting a decision before you even start the presentation? That's technique, right? We go through all that in the Kaizen Academy. And then when you're doing a presentation, how good are your stories at knocking out objections before they're even raised? How good are your presentations? You know by now what people always say whenever you talk about it. You already know half the time they're going to say something like blank. So how good are you at weaving stories into your presentation that knock that objective out before they even throw it to you? The next is conversions. Number 5 is conversions. Listen. If you're trying to figure out a question to ask about conversions, here's what I got a question for you. Here's the question I got for you. How irresistible are your offers? How irresistible is the offer that you're making? I don't care if you're talking to your kids, trying to get them to do their work. You know what I mean? Or you're talking to a client. What I'm asking you is, how irresistible is your offer? And the difference between talking to your kids and talking to your clients is that your clients are in a voluntary relationship. And what I'm saying to you is that therefore it's ridiculous that most of us ask them to take all the risk. It's crazy. What are you doing to take the risk off of them and put more of it on yourself? That's something to ask yourself if you're looking for more conversion. Number 6 in the revenue acceleration cycle is follow-ups. You say, oh, I follow up sometimes. Well, wait. Because not only do you follow up if they don't buy, but you're supposed to follow up when they do, because those are the people that love you. What the heck? How are you letting all these clients just chill and you go off and chase some new ones? That's ridiculous. But that's what most people do. So my question for you with follow-ups is, how do you encourage and reward referrals? Can somebody hear me? How do you encourage and how do you reward referrals? Hey man, please support this with a like, a comment, or a share. I found out YouTube, Facebook, they don't share it unless you're showing love. You know what I mean? You got to engage with us. So if this is making sense, I want you to pull out which one is the most powerful to you, which one you need the most work on, right? Because after we get the follow-ups, it becomes upsells. And then the whole thing starts all over again, right? Because with upsells, we're talking about how much creativity, okay, have you put into offers that can solve the new problem that you created with your solution? Oh man, you sold them a car, but they got a new problem. They need some car insurance. You say, I don't sell car insurance, Hazik. Well, that's the whole point. Why aren't you working with a car insurance company so you get a kickback whenever you refer them to the car insurance? You get what I mean? Upsells. Now, all of a sudden, all your current customers become leads again. Is that amazing? And then the whole cycle starts all over again. Is that incredible? Is that incredible, y'all? So what we did, right? We did something a little different this week. We decided to email everybody. If you haven't joined the email list, you may want to go to We Are Millionaire Minded. We Are Millionaire Minded. Hey, good morning, Linda. Good morning. Good morning. That's right, Kermit. That's right. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So check it out. What we're going to do is we're going to go through some of the questions that people asked this week through the email list. If you go to wearemillionaireminded.com, then I have a feeling that's going to be a good investment of your time. I had person after person this week. I think what really hit me the hardest is that I had person after person commenting on the fact that they can't find leads, that they need more leads. See, this is the problem with leads, y'all. Anybody out there feel that? Anybody out there having issues with leads as well? I had another question where people were talking a little bit about how they are having issues with presentations. A couple people mentioned that they were having issues with presentations, right? And then I heard conversion a little bit. A few people wrote in about conversions. Well, which one would you guys like me to kind of cover? Obviously, we won't be able to go into everything super in depth. Let me see it in the comments. Would you prefer I talk a little bit about presentation? Would you prefer I focus more on conversion? Would you prefer I focus more on leads? Who needs right now that can hear my voice? Which one would you prefer me kind of go in on? Y'all feeling more like a leads kind of conversation today? Y'all want to talk more about conversion? Y'all want to talk more about presentation? How we feeling out there? How we feeling out there? All right. So it seems like everybody is kind of like, it's the, okay. Yes, Mama Mahasan, that upsell is the way to go. All right. So when it comes to leads, here's the thing that I want you to think about, because I don't want this to feel overwhelming when it's actually really, really simple. Listen to me, y'all. We're doing marketing. A lot of us are doing network marketing, affiliate marketing, right? Or you have a business you're marketing, but you're not thinking like a marketer. We don't think of ourselves as marketers. You know, you own a landscaping business. You're thinking of yourself as a landscaper. Am I right? You're not thinking of yourself as a marketer, but guess what? That's what you are. Well, millionaires, we got to start thinking like marketers. And the main thing that you need to be asking yourself if you're looking for leads is, who am I trying to sell to? Who do I want to sell to? Think about that, y'all. Because after I know who I want to sell to, I know the main problem that I'm trying to solve for them. But I just want you to think about that. Whatever it is you do, who am I trying to sell to? A lot of people never look at niche, y'all. They say everybody needs what I got. We fall in love with our product to the point where we scream it from the mountaintops and we believe our own stories. You know what I mean? We drink our own Kool-Aid. And what I'm saying is that's not how it works. If you're trying to talk to everybody, you're speaking to no one. You are diluting your power, and you think that you're expanding your power by making yourself available to everybody, but you're actually diluting your power. What you want to do is be concentrated. You're going for chandelier. Well, what's going to be the most effective is a laser. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm asking you, if you're looking for leads, I want you to think about, who is it that I'm trying to sell to? We call that a market, y'all. A market is a collection of buyers and sellers that all have the same kind of goals. They got similar beliefs. They have similar products. That's called a market. If you're looking for leads, you go into the marketplace. What the heck? Why would I go into an orange field full of orange trees and look for pears? That's ridiculous, but that's what a lot of people do with their business. What you've got to do is get focused on a specific place. We call that a market. If you're going to do marketing, then you need to know what market that you're approaching. And a market, it's simple enough. Just like when you go to Publix or Walmart, it's buyers and sellers. It's an ecosystem. And when you're looking at how you're going to study this market, right? Because after you figure out who it is you want to sell to because you're looking for leads, the next thing is who's already selling to them, right? That's called a market, right? Okay, these are the people that are buying. Now, who's selling to them? What do these people look like, right? Millionaires. In an ecosystem, when you're talking about buyers and sellers, what do you have? You have this whole universe that contributes to the market. And if you're going to get into a market and really pull some juice out that thing, right? If you're going to get into the orchard and really pull this off, it's important that you're aware of the ecosystem. So you need to know the buyers. You need to know the sellers. You need to know the opinions that are going on in that marketplace. You need to know the conversation. Like if I'm an artist and I'm not using the latest slang, then I'm not going to connect with that particular. You see what I'm saying? What's the ecosystem that's going on? What is the lingo that's going on in your industry? What's the new conversations that are going on? What's the new legislation that's coming down the pipeline? What's going on in the marketplace in terms of new technology that's kicking off? What are the platforms that are available? Who is already selling to these people? That's the second question you need to know. Who is the rock? What does rock stand for? It's the red ocean category king. If you don't know who's already selling to them, it's going to be a lot harder for you to find leads because you don't know who to copycat. Listen to me. Sometimes, man, you can find leads just by finding a big dog in your industry and starting to follow the page. Let's just say we talking about Facebook, right? You can just start following the pages of the people that like this same thing that's selling what you said. They're interested in it. Do you get what I'm saying? Let's say I'm in financial services and I just have a Facebook page. I only have 500, 1,000 people on there and I just need to add some friends. Why would I add random people when I could go to the pages of the people that are in my industry and add nothing but pages from people that like this thing about this particular Facebook group, where they like this post from this particular page that was about banking, or that was about looking for a secured credit card, or it's about them looking for an apartment. I already know that they're looking for what it is I offer because I figured out that I don't sell financial services. For instance, I'm selling financial services to somebody who's looking to become a homeowner, right? Or I'm selling financial services to somebody who drives trucks, right? Or I'm selling financial services to somebody who sells houses, right? Or I'm selling financial services to people who have books about finances, but they need a back end and they need some kind of residual income attached to their book. Because right now all they can do is sell the book, baby, but they need something coming in every month when they don't feel like working. Ain't that the game? So what I'm saying to you is that you got to get in there and know, one, if you're looking for leads, we're talking about leads right now. It is scary as hell to me that you would start a business or that you would join a business and you don't know three things. One, who am I trying to sell to? Who is it I want to sell to? Two, who's already selling to them? And then three, who are the easiest people for me to sell to in that marketplace? Who are the easiest people for me to peel off? Who can I pick off? You can always pick off the people that are in it, but they are stuck. They hate it, but they're stuck. They don't know what else to do, right? Because these are the blamers. Blamers are always the easiest people to pick off. And guess what? Your job as a marketer is to tell them it's not your fault. It's the fault of what they sold you. So check it out. I'll give you an example. let's say you are in the world of health and wellness and you do yoga and you notice that everybody's doing this thing called yoga. You don't come in and say, hey, I got a better way to do yoga. You have to come in and know you're looking for these yoga people that are stuck. They can't get into the positions, right? You're noticing the conversation. It's like, oh, it's so hard. Or man, you know what I mean? I don't have time to be in there a long time. Or man, I don't, right? And you're hearing the same observations. You're hearing the same complaints over and over again. So what you do is you observe all of that and you say, you know what? Let's do something called hot yoga. Now, when you present hot yoga as the new opportunity, not an improvement offer, not stronger, not fast, right? Not something that improves what they already doing. No, because that means I'll have to do some work and I don't want to do no work. I'm a blamer. You have to give me the opportunity to say, it's not my fault I couldn't get into the positions. It was this damn regular yoga. I get it. I needed hot yoga. And then we buy it. Now, that's not to say that hot yoga ain't incredible. It's to say that the psychology involved has to do with you knowing what people hate, because people's natural propensity is not to take responsibility and say, I don't work out. It's to say, it's this kind of workout machine. Yes, I need to get a Peloton. That's the problem. Oh, you can lose weight walking around the block, right? But what we're looking for is something. So you've got to understand that. Your job as a marketer is to tell them it ain't their fault. It's the fact that them people right there is doing you dirty. That's your job as a marketer. But you can't do that if you don't know first who you're trying to talk to and target and market to, right? You pick out a market and target. You pick out a target and market, right? So first you need to know who, then you need to know who's already selling to them. Who's the red ocean category king? Who's the rock? Who's the rock in that market? If you're looking for leads, y'all, the first step is you need to know who you're trying to sell to, who's already selling to them, and then who are the easiest to pick off. Because in every market, you're always going to have 3 different categories. You're going to have the diehards, right? You can tell when you're trying to talk to a diehard when y'all start, getting into a feature war. Right, fellas? You in a barbershop, you talking about your favorite team, and then they talk about their favorite team. They talking about LeBron, you talking about Steph Curry. They got these stats about rebounds, you got these stats about assists, right? It goes nowhere because they're diehard. They got a freaking LeBron tattoo. You're wasting your time. They have LeBron stuff all over the barbershop. You're literally wasting, right? Then you have the second category. Those are the hagglers. They always looking over the fence, right? They always looking over the fence. So with the hagglers, they're already shopping with the red ocean category king, but they like, what you got? You willing to give me more for less? What you got? And you can tell you're talking to them when you get into a price war. I don't believe in price war because that's just a race to the bottom. It's like in the streets. Well, never mind. But I'm just saying, like, if you price your thing right here, and then now we got to price it here to beat that. Now you got to price it here to beat that. It's a race to the bottom. So we don't get into with the hagglers. Look, do you? We the best. If you don't want the best, why would I want you anyway? Right? Do you? But then you got the ones that we looking for, y'all. Those are the ones that are stuck. But they hate it. They're in it, but they just don't know there's an alternative. They feel that something better should be happening, and they don't want to acknowledge that they're at the scene of the crime every time, right? Because that's called personal responsibility. They don't want to do that, right? So what we do is we find the ones who jump into the game. They buy from this thing. They're trying to solve this problem, but now they feel stuck. Those are the people that you can approach with your blue ocean, with your new opportunity. The red ocean is overcrowded, but a bunch of them in there feel stuck. That's who you market to. Is this making sense to somebody out there? If you're looking for leads, I need you to first ask yourself, who am I trying to sell to? Who's already selling to them? And who are the easiest group inside of that for me to solve this problem that has them stuck? Is this making sense to somebody? Is this making sense to somebody out there? Now, after we figure all of that out, there's all kinds of things that we can do, right? There's all kinds of things that we can do to get leads, you know. But first, you need to know who it is you're talking to. After you know who you're talking to, you know, if somebody wants to tell me who they're trying to talk to, we can talk about all kinds of ways to get leads. But was this helpful for somebody? Was this helpful for somebody? Is this helping you understand how you need to reapproach the way you've been doing things as it relates to leads? You can just talk to random people with some of the businesses some of you have. You can just talk to people in the Walmart. You could talk to people in Target, you know, and that's why we teach you some of the wording you can use, so you don't accidentally say things that turn people off. You know, law of polarity says if there's a up, then there got to be a down, right? Law of polarity says if there's an inside, there got to be an outside, right? That's the law of polarity. We always say attitude is based on whether or not you understand the laws of nature, right? Well, we know law of polarity says if there's a hot, there got to be a cold. So law of polarity tells us clearly that if there's a sentence that you can say that turns them off, I give you an example. Then there's got to be a sentence that can turn them on. And I give you an example of that too. So if you're just looking for leads and you want to turn normal people around you into leads, you could say something like, hey man, how you been doing? And they're like, yeah. Hey, check it out, man. I just now got involved in. Did you hear what you just now did in your head? Once I said that, you started thinking of, oh Lord, nah, I'm not, no. You started thinking of excuses and I didn't even finish. Right? Can I get a witness? Did somebody feel that happen in their head the minute I said that? I just got involved in, right? But that's what we go around saying. That means that's a stupid thing to say because it triggers a program in our head. Our whole brain works off programs. So if you're looking to turn a lead into something, and if you're looking to turn somebody around you into a lead at a random acquaintance, you're trying to score an appointment, you don't want to say, I just got involved in. Because that's 5 words that'll make them automatically say no. They're thinking of an excuse right away. Did y'all feel it happen in your head? I got another one. When y'all say, hey man, so yeah, man, but anyway, would you be interested in a wait? Right? The minute I say, would you be interested in, you already like, no, because what? It sounds like I'm trying to sell you something. So law of polarity says if there's a sentence like that, that'll make them say no, you know what I mean? Then there's also a sentence that'll make them say yes. Is that right? So if you're trying to turn somebody into a lead in a supermarket, just tell them 2 facts and then give them 5 magic words, right? Like, man, you could say something like, I know working long hours gets really rough on you, right? That's a fact. She's a waitress. That's a fact. He's a waiter. Maybe you give them another fact after that. And I know it's wild not being able to pick your own hours and stuff, huh? What can they do? It's a fact. It's like, boom, Vulcan mind meld. We're blood brother and sister all of a sudden, right? Best friends for life. This person gets me. And then you hit them with the magic words, right? Or some of the magic, you could, we're going to do a whole class on this April 10th. Can somebody write April 10th in the comments? We're going to do a whole class just on this April 10th. Somebody write that in the comments. But my point is after that, maybe you hit them with, would it be okay if you had 2 paychecks every Friday instead of 1? They're going to be like, yeah, right? Or would it be okay if you got into a home by this time next year? They're going to be like, yeah, because would it be okay naturally makes you kind of click that thing on, right? So we're going to do this thing about magic words on April 10th. April 10th. Appreciate that, y'all. April 10th. But my point is you can turn anybody around you into a lead just using trained language. A surgeon uses a scalpel. Well, you're using your words. Words are tools. Words are magical. And, sometimes we use them bad and we don't even realize what we're doing. We're all a work in progress. But if we could hit a level of consciousness where we only speak with intention, what a life we would live, right? What a life we would live. So yeah, April 10th, it's going to go down. It's going to go down. Okay. So I guess that's going to do it for today's Free Coaching Friday. Well, I guess we'll continue on Clubhouse. We'll continue on the Millionaire Mind Line. But here on YouTube, I guess that'll do it for today's Free Coaching Friday. Make sure you join wearemillionaireminded.com. Make sure you join the email list, wearemillionaireminded.com. We also have a number that you can dial. If you've been having problems dialing in on the line because it costs you money, T-Mobile, stuff like that, they be playing games. Well, what you can do is just text call me. If you text call me, then what'll happen is you will get this message. It'll call you back and then boom, you're in on the line. So if you text message call me to 667-776-9461. Ain't that right, Crystal? It's call me, right? It's not call me back. I think it's call me. If you text call me to 667-776-9461, the number will call you back. So that's pretty cool. All right, y'all. So now it's time for our affirmations. If you've never tried affirmations, I want to tell you, you actually have. But since you don't think of it that way, you're probably using them in reverse. You know what I mean? You're probably saying stuff like, man, I'm tired, or I'm broke, or I ain't got no money. Those are affirmations, my friend. What we're suggesting you do is use them in forward instead of reverse. You know what I mean? That's what we're throwing out there for you. So repeat after me. Calling on the winners hotline, 667-776-WIN1. 667-776-WIN1. And if you can't, then we will get you an alternate number. Don't trip. You can just text in, call me, and it'll call you back, and then boom, you on the line. All right, millionaires, repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. You got to take your cool off. You with me? All right, here we go. I am so